October 5th in Salt Lake City, Utah. Will, of course, be UFC 307 Pereira versus Rountree, which is a very good fight for reasons unknown, but little, not controversial, right? But there's a little bit of complaints with the fight, but the undercard has some good fights. As you have Jose Aldo taking on Mario Batista. Very good fight. Of course, people are saying, why is Jose Aldo fighting down the rankings? Shouldn't be fighting up the rankings. To that I say, hasn't he challenged for like the bantamweight title like a bunch of times, or am I lying, or are they lying to me? But anyways, besides that fight, you have Stephen Wonderboy Thompson taking on Joaquin Buckley in the welterweight fight, which many people believe will be a very fun fight. Of course, most people wanted Wonderboy versus MVP, but this is close enough. And in the middleweight division, we have Roman Dolidze versus Kevin Holland in the middleweight division. Of course, Kevin Holland basically said, I don't like welterweight anymore, I'm going to move up. The other ones, unfortunately, just call me sexist, I don't care, I'm not interested in these fights. But anyways, the first one, of course, Jose Aldo versus Mario Batista. Of course, Batista is 14-2, 3 wins by way of knockout, 6 submissions, and 5 decisions. Now, of course, I did watch one of his fights, that being Damon Blackshear, who won one round, and then he got basically outworked the other two. I unfortunately did not see Ricky Simon, but I did see that he jumped over a leg kick, which will be very interesting to see him do against Jose Aldo. But besides that, Jose Aldo is 32-8 with 17 wins by way of knockout, 1 submission, and 14 decisions. And some pop, not too much. 8 losses, 4 by knockout, 1 by submission, and 3 by decisions. Of course, he is coming off of a unanimous decision win against Jonathan Martinez, and I did pick Martinez. But me and Father Time, we do not get along one bit. One time I think, oh, this guy is way over the hump. It's over. He's going to lose. Nope, he's right back there. Oh, and then other one's like, hey, this guy definitely got some things left to show. Nope, he gets stopped. It's like, man. But anyways. Of course, he has lost. Of course, he has fought against good people. He's beat Chito Vera. We already gone through this, but Chito Vera, Pedro Munoz, Rob Font, very good wins. Of course, his losses always come from Conor McGregor, Holloway twice, Alexander Volkanovski, Marlon Moraes, and Piotr Jan. So, of course, the way I'm going to see this going, you know, Jose Aldo's most likely not going to win. I think I got Mario Batista winning unanimous decision over Jose Aldo. Did you say that the last time? I did. But Mario Batista is a grappling artist, and Jose Aldo has great takedown defense. But like they always say, takedown always opens up stuff on the feet, meaning he will most likely be touching Aldo a lot more than usual. But that's about it. I don't really know much about that fight other than Mario Batista's fighting, and we will be rooting for him. A little bit biased, probably, but who cares? Okay, now we got Joaquin Buckley, New Mansa. I don't know what that means. Someone fill me in. Is 19-6, 13 wins by way of knockout, 0 submissions, and 6 decisions. Of course, he is coming off of the unanimous decision win against this guy. I'm sorry for not knowing how to pronounce your name, but he has 6 losses, 4 by knockout, 2 by decision. Anyways, he has fought at middleweight, where I think he got stopped by Kevin Holland, so that's nice. No, okay, not nice for him, but he's been fighting. He's realized, okay, maybe I'm not built for middleweight. I should probably move down to welterweight, which he's done, and he has fought against very good people, being Vicente Luque. He won by stoppage. Of course, his other losses come by Chris Curtis, Imavov, this guy, Kevin Holland, of course, and other guys. We'll just breeze through these ones because, whatever, right? But Stephen Thompson is 17-7, 8 wins by way of knockout, 1 submission, and 8 decisions. Once again, some pop, not too much. 7 losses, 1 by knockout, 1 by submission, and 5 by decision. Now, of course, that submission loss was to Shavkat Rakhmonov, being his last fight. Second round submission, which is whatever. He also beat Kevin Holland via stoppage in the 4th round. He lost to Bilal Muhammad and Gilbert Burns. Good losses, especially Bilal Muhammad. He beat Jeff Neal and Vicente Luque, so that's a common opponent. But he has fought a younger Vicente Luque, so much better. He also beat Jorge Masvidal. Very nice. But anyways, the elephant in the room is Wonder Boy is 41. He can call himself a boy all he wants. He's 41. And Buckley is the much younger guy at only 30. Age will play a factor. I unfortunately am picking Joaquin Buckley by knockout, 3rd round. I do believe, because both of them are very unique in their form of striking. That's the whole reason why people like this fight, this matchup. But it's just going to be the explosiveness of the younger fighter, which will most likely cause a ton of issues for the much older fighter. Don't get me wrong, he has a ton of experience. He could get it done, but now father time comes for everyone. He unfortunately will most likely lose. But anyways, we will actually skip the Roman Kevin Holland fight. Why? I not too interested in that fight. Anyways, I'm picking Kevin Holland to win by decision, by the way. I don't care. Now the main event, Pereira versus Khalil Rountree. Now, of course, Rountree is 13-5 with 9 wins by way of knockout and 4 decisions. 2 losses by way of knockout, 1 submission loss, and 2 decision losses. Also goes by the Warhorse. He is coming off of a nice 5-fight win streak, beating people like Anthony Smith. Of course, people most likely recognize that knockout. But he lost to quite a bit of people, especially Johnny Walker via knockout. Which many people are saying that's a bad thing, but that was like Johnny Walker back when people thought he was going to have a huge run, but whatever, right? He's also beating people like Paul Craig. Very nice. But besides that, he'll be facing the light heavyweight champion Alex Poatan Pereira, 11-2, 9 wins by way of knockout and 2 decisions. So obviously the same amount of knockouts, but of course Pereira with less fights, it suits him better. 2 losses, both by stoppage, 1 by knockout and 1 by submission. His 1 loss by way of submission was back all the way in his first fight. And his latest loss was back in 2023 against Israel Adesanya in their rematch, where after winning the belt, he later got stopped and he lost the belt. But it doesn't matter, he got the belt in the first place, so that's always nice. But after that, he has fought 4 straight former champions. He fought not 4 straight. He fought 3 people. It doesn't matter, right? He fought Jan Blachowicz, Jiri Prochazka twice, and Jamal Hill. I still think that's a fluke. They need to run that back. You're coping. I don't care. But anyways, I don't think really anyone's really thinking that it's gonna go any other way than Pereira knockout, considering Rountree and Pereira combined for a total of 1 attempted takedown. Yeah, this is not going to the ground anytime soon. But just like how we are with other people, we will give the best case scenario for Khalil Rountree. And the best case scenario is Rountree via 3rd, 4th, or 5th round stoppage. Well, I guess you could go decision, but that's less likely, right? The reason for that is because Rountree, well, first of all, has power. On his 5-fight win streak, only 1 of them went decision. Now, of course, that was split decision, so that's his own thing. But besides that, he has massive powers in his hands. Now, of course, the way I'm envisioning this Rountree win is simple. Pereira is unorthodox in a good way and in a bad way. One thing is he has very bad defense. Of course, you could say, why haven't they exploited it yet? Of course, Adesanya exploited it. Of course, he ended up still getting stopped, but he ended up stopping him as well, right? But the reason why he's so, I guess, defensive is simple. He's very He's very reactive. He has a good left hook for defense. Like I say, a good defense is a great offense. That's what Pereira is. His defense, dude does not keep his hands up for the most part. Yeah, he gets hit like a bunch of times, but the threat of a counter was always there for him, which is why, most people end up getting stopped anyway. So Prochazka, in the first fight anyways, was landing a bunch of punches until he went in with his hands down and he got caught. Whatever, right? But the reason why I'm saying this is because of where they're fighting. Of course, Salt Lake City, Utah is notorious for its high altitude and people gassing out. Now, of course, he actually has experience fighting Jan Blachowicz, where he won split decision over 3 rounds, where both of them were exhausted. The thing is, when Pereira gets exhausted because of his already bad defense, not only will be less reactive, but his hands will be lower than usual, meaning he won't be truly able to counter and hurt Rountree in the later rounds. Because if there's one person whose power is going to carry over through 5 fights, it will be Rountree. And you may be saying, didn't Pereira get a 5th round stoppage win over Adesanya? You would be correct. But that wasn't in Salt Lake City, Utah. So, you know, this different circumstance. He will definitely, his power is definitely drained throughout the fight. I mean, look at, okay, well, Blachowicz is also a tank. All right, let's not sit here and say he's not a tank. He's a tank. So obviously he could survive punches, right? But with him being slower and more sluggish as the fight goes on, his left hook will become less and less of a threat. Now, of course, he still has the calf kick, which is a great weapon to use. But I do believe Rountree can do something, right? Because he has good kicking ability. Was it Muay Thai that he has? He has good distance management, I guess you could say, where he could stay clear of the Pereira left hook and he could invest in the body with kicks to the point where maybe he could survive the first 2 rounds and he could start pressuring, because at that point, Pereira, like I said, Pereira will most likely be less reactive, less power in his punches. His left hook will no longer be as deadly as it would once be. And of course, with his hands down and his already poor defense, Rountree could catch him with a shot. Now, of course, there's still a lot of, I guess you could say, coping, because all the negatives of the stamina applies to Rountree as well. It's not like Rountree is somehow not going to be affected by the high altitude. He's going to get affected. But Rountree has somewhat better defense. He actually keeps his damn hands up, you know? So, like I said, this is the best case scenario for Rountree. Best case scenario. Survive the first 2 rounds, invest in the body in the first 2 rounds with kicks. Don't do anything dumb like running with your hands down, right? And then hopefully you get to catch him in the second half of the fight. But like I said, this is wishful thinking. This is the best case scenario for Rountree. What most likely is going to happen is Pereira's going to straight up just eat up Rountree's calves with the kicks, therefore making him immobile and landing a left hook. Yeah. Like I said, best case scenario, Rountree survives 2 rounds, invests in the body, gets Pereira's hands down, no longer able to really counter effectively or catch him coming in, and he gets a stoppage. But if I were to rate Rountree's chances, it would be a 20% chance, which is not that bad if you think about it. It's 1 in 5 fights. You know, who wouldn't bet on 20% odds? Like, hey man, you bet a $5, you get $100 back. Would you do it for 20%? Why not? Great reward, right? But the thing is, we're most likely not living in that timeline. So, anyways, Pereira most likely gonna stop Rountree in the second or the very beginning of the 3rd round. But once again, with the high altitude, it could even go decision. But if it goes decision, I might favor Pereira a little bit. But like I said, best case scenario for Rountree, still very unlikely to happen. Like I said, the exhaustion's gonna hit Rountree as well, so nothing much you could do there. But anyways, hope you enjoyed this video, and I would like to hear you guys' opinions in the comments below. Anyways, see you in the next one.
What a shot. He's staggered. He's staggered. Does he know? Does he know he's even good?
This round could go either way. 10 seconds, and now going for the finish.
Beautiful, sneaky shot to take his legs away from him.
Oh, and that changes everything. And